often unspoken conversations. Welcome to Unspoken Real Talk, where men come to talk, to heal, and to be heard. I'm your host and moderator, Pamela Coleman. Wednesdays at 7 p.m., we dive into the powerful, often unspoken conversations around men's mental health. From silent struggles to bold breakthroughs, this is a safe space where vulnerability is strength and real talk is the rule. With conversation that reflect the journey, the pain, progress, and peace, you'll see you're not alone. So pull up a chair, open your mind, and let's talk. This is Unspoken Real Talk.
Welcome in, everybody. We have my good friend, Mr. Freddy Love No Ego Jackson with us today, and he is with the original Unspoken. So he is truly one of our unspoken originals. Welcome in, friend.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
If you get while we're here, can you tell everyone about yourself and Love No Ego?
Yeah, so, my name's Freddy Jackson. A lot of stuff, but let's bullet point some things. I'm a former college athlete, former music artist, personal trainer, wellness coach for about 17 years now. I have a few degrees, double masters, psychology, organizational development and leadership, psychology, undergrad in radio broadcast and journalism. A lot of great experiences. Serve on a few boards in Charlottesville, Virginia, and the founder of the Love No Ego Foundation. Originally from Buckingham County, Virginia, small town. One stoplight flashing 24 hours a day when I was coming up, But founder of the Love No Ego Foundation. It'll be 10 years in March 2026. And what Love No Ego does is we help youth ages 10 to 18 just live more on purpose, live more from that human, natural, intuitive space that they have. We call that the love space, while being aware of the egotistical and peer pressuring things of society, right? That causes that separation, that causes that fear. So they have the courage to be themselves. And we do youth mentoring and motivational speaking in schools and churches, community events, residential treatment facilities, wherever the youth are. We try to go there and boost morale of their environment and give them that message to practice.
Once I pull that up on my show, you were at West Virginia talking about Love No Ego. So I have that clip about that. So I'll show that a little later, just a little later. Okay. So what is your views on men's mental health through the eyes of a Black man?
Even though it's through the eyes of a Black man, what I first try to do so I can transcend like race, and then I fall back into that race. But let me explain. Like, I want to be human first, so I don't miss any opportunities, and those opportunities being, for me to learn something, and also for me to acquire a resource that I don't have as a Black person, that I might be able to gain from somebody else that's not Black, and even maybe bring it back to the Black. Right. So I try to show up human first and see what's going on and try to understand what God and love and the universe has given me, right? And I become just grateful for that. Now, when I operate in the world a little bit, sometimes, the world has no problem reminding you that you're Black or whatever color you are, So through the eyes of that, first of all, there's layers to it. You're a man, and then on top of it, you're Black. So it boils down to not letting anyone or anything, including yourself, steal your joy. Because people, we can take it away from ourselves. We can be the ones that's in the way, actually, of ourselves. So my thing is like, mental health to me is like, the thoughts that I have are in a good space. and it's a practice every day. It's not like you get it and you have it forever. But it's about, if you break those words down, mental health, it's like the state of your mental. And what's your mental? Is this a bundle of thoughts? So when I come out and I interact and I move and I try my best and to stay in purpose, to stay in love, to stay on purpose, I'll allow love to tell me what to do. I allow love to guide me. I don't run around looking for issues.
Yeah, yes.
I don't run around looking for the drama. But if it comes to me, then I do what I have to do to feel like I need to dispel it. But I'm like an opportunist. I don't want to miss. I see the opportunity. I don't always see the conflict and the problem. Although I can see it, I move beyond it really quick. Because I want the opportunity,
So before we got on, you were telling me that you were doing something. So what do you do for your own mental peace to just take care of Freddie?
Yeah. So, right now I'm in the middle of a fast. I'm about 30 hours in, over a day into a fast, just water. And sometimes I drink a little bit of tea, which I have here in a mason jar. I make them and I put them in the fridge.
Okay.
Peppermint, spearmint. First, the fast kind of helps me just get back into, again, what love has given me. Like, I want to feel this space, and food is one thing that can easily cover up how you feel, because it can be a source that people turn to for comfort, for peace, what they think is comfort and peace. So I try to challenge myself in those ways. I eat pretty healthy anyway, but at the same time, the country that I live in is, divided states of America. Like, we got all types of food that's really in our face all the time. That's not good for us. So the fast I'm doing, I did a hike today, over 5 miles. I have yet a couple of exercises I want to do. I drink my water every day. I pray, I meditate every day. I watch the sunrise. Probably out of 365 days a year, I probably get at least 350 of them.
Wow. Okay.
And while I was hiking, I ended up doing a cold plunge in the lake. So I was hiking around this lake, took my clothes off, jumped in with my underwear on, got back out. I had my robe in my backpack, put my robe on, chilled, and read my book. So all of these things like just contribute to my happiness scale. They contribute to my mental health. Those things that I just mentioned, they're all connected to reality. Not a reality that I made up. It's connected to truth, reality. Without those things and that nature and things that I was enjoying out there this evening, without the sun, without the moon, without the water, I'd be dead anyway. So I like to put things in perspective. Like, the sun keeps us alive. The water, the universe is 65, 70% water. Our body's 65, 70% water. Our country, 65, 70% water. That's not a coincidence. So I like to pay attention to things like that. So when I do come out in this egotistical world, I've already worked on, practice, settled into a foundation that's not going to be easily shaken by anybody.
So was that planned, or did you just have that in your backpack and it just hit you you saw the water and you decided to jump in, or was that something you had pre-planned for your walk?
Well, there's always a possibility when I'm near water. So I have a backpack that stays packed with a hammock, an extra pair of shorts, one of those really compact fold up chairs. I have playing cards in there. I have some fire starters in there. Yeah, I have some almond oil, body oil in there. Sometimes when I get out the water, I just chill, and I just rub my feet down with some all natural oil, rub my body down. So I love nature. You know, I grew up with it. I love being outdoors. I love being outside. We have to understand something. Like, we have to really tune into what's been given us, not what we've created. You know, there's a difference between what's been given to us and then what we go out and create. And we often think what we create is reality. I mean, you know, like, reality is changeless. Like, it can't be changed. You know, all the buildings and the cars and things we build and create, since the day that it was ready to go, it's been crumbling, and it never will last the test of time. You know, it won't. Any building that we build. So my thing is, like, I like to stay in tune with that energy, with that frequency. And when I fast, I really can feel it. Like, I can hear a song. Like, today I was listening to this song, and it was just such a part of me now. Like, it's like every cell in my body was hearing and feeling this song. You know, versus sometime if I have that piece of cake or I eat that sandwich, like, it clouds. It clouds you, and it kind of blocks some things sometimes. So every once in a while I do a 2-3 day fast. Sometimes I eat one meal a day for a week.
When you do that one meal, what is it that you eat? I mean, is it, you know, what type of meal is it?
Yeah, so it'll be one big meal. Like, I have a beautiful feast. Me and my wife, we'll have a salad here. There might be leftover broccoli, something here, leftover. We break it out, spice it up again on the stove, break it all out. And we have these homemade dark chocolates that we make from scratch. We'll set a few of those out for dessert and snacking. And it's just like a 45-minute hour just conversing, talking, feasting, being, enjoying each other's company. Like, we don't have TV. Like, we don't have a TV in our home. We hadn't had a TV in our home. Haven't had a TV in our home in about a decade now. We don't have a microwave. Nothing's microwavable like in here. You got to spend some time with cooking it, doing it, using it, being it, not so easily distracted. You know, if our home has a lot of plants, and you can't see, but
yeah, I can see it. Yep.
But a lot of plants, old school radio in the background. We keep it very simple. I still have a landline. You know, like, I love life. I love what's been given to us, and I minimize my tools that I use of the world. You know, because if you have too many things going on out here, it's going to distract you from fulfilling your purpose. People always say, I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. Man, it's not enough time in the day. You probably have some things going on that you could remove. When I removed the television from my home,
you had time.
All of a sudden, I'm not listening, watching something nonchalantly. Also, the $200 cable bill went with it that I was paying and had it on auto pay every month. So now I have a little bit of time, and I got an extra $200.
I was going to say, and a little bit of money.
So what else is wasting my time? You know, I say I have goals. Like, why am I not prioritizing those? You know? So I just do a lot of life. I just practice at life. That's what I call it. We practice at a lot of other things. We practice. I know how my phone works. We figured out how this works. We know how a lot of things work. Car, wash machines, this, that. You know, but we fail to like prioritize this and understand, like, how do I work? What makes me go? What makes me maximize this human experience? What gets in my way so I can make the decisions to be my best self?
You got me thinking, because I never put it into perspective like you just did. But I went back to when I was in college, and I couldn't, like you said, it's too much noise and too much distraction around. I'm trying to get work done. and I was at Virginia State, so I would drive back. Well, not back, but I'd drive to Richmond, and sit along that riverbank,
Mm-hmm.
and I could get all my work done.
Mm.
I could get the work done because there was no music in the hallways. There was nobody running in and out of the room. So now you're making me think, because that's what I used to do with the first two books. I used to go lock myself in a hotel room once a month just so I could have that, no distractions.
Mm-hmm.
So that I never really thought that was what we, what we needed,
Mm-hmm.
just to
Yeah,
be, yeah.
yeah.
I,
That's love. That's love, and what's been given to you, and you're igniting that space. And you can't get rid of it. It's by default. Like you were born, created. Thank God that whoever your creator is, gave it to you. You are creations of a creator. So creations don't leave their creator. Kids don't leave their parents, even though they go here and they go there and they go here and they go there. Creations don't leave their creator. So you are part of that creator. What he or she has been given to you. So with that truth, we've been given all knowledge. We've been given everything. The answers have already been given to you. We often think the answers are outside of ourselves, and we go searching for it, this and that. Whatever you find out there can only extend what's already here. So love is everything. Love is everything. It's everything. Everything else we made up. We made up the fears. We made up the black, white, the Democrat, Republican. You think God made all that up?
Look, I'm just sitting here with the food for thought myself. I'm just like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, when you said you've seen over 300 sunrises out of the year, when I go to the beach, that's the one thing I make sure I wake up and go see. So, I'm just rolling back some of the stuff that you were talking about that I do.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It speaks
it's
to
like,
your.
it's just like it's natural.
It is. It's natural. It's very natural, and it's very naturally inspiring. Like that's purposeful. Purpose helps you sleep at night. It wakes you up tomorrow morning. It flows. It keeps you going. I see so many people wake up. I tell people all the time when I'm speaking in the corporate world, when I'm trying to get personal and professional development to merge. And I share that personal development is not separate from professional development. It's the foundation for professional development. You mean to tell me you're going to wake up every single day early, go to a job, go to a place. Maybe half the time you like being there, half the time you don't. 50% the time you enjoy
on the day.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me you can prioritize that, but you can't wake up early for yourself? You can't do something for yourself, but every day you wake up and go serve this other thing and this other whatever it might be? There's nothing wrong with working.
No, I didn't receive it as that, but I get what
but
you're saying.
people,
Where's the time for yourself?
People will say, like, I gotta go to work and I gotta make money. Like
I gotta pay bills, that type of thing.
Yeah. But I've got to the point now, the bills that I pay, I'm using that. I pay an electric bill, I pay a phone bill. I have no outstanding stuff that's pulling me over this way. So I feel like I got to sacrifice my time to go make some money to pay for that thing. Oh,
I know what the platform is for, but I'm receiving it also. I know, I created this for our men to share, and I'm receiving that one.
Yeah. That's what
I do some of it, but it's just like there's more that you can do just to help yourself. And sticking with what you're talking about, for those that want some type of mental support or mental release or something that can't do the $100 visits, you just provided them with some tools that could help ease some of it without spending the $100, not taken away from the therapist, but just to see if going out walking along the riverbank or jumping in the water or sitting next to a tree and putting your thoughts in a book.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what therapy is? Therapy is a release from the past. Like, think about that.
Oh, that's my first book.
Yeah, therapy. I know.
That was the book.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a release from the past. Like, if what you've learned up until this point has not made you happy, it has not worked. Therapy is supposed to lead you to healing and release you from those thoughts of the past, those actions, so that guilt, everything, and put you right back into, what's that say?
Now.
Yeah. The time is now. You are a human being. You are a now creature. You're not a yesterday creature. You're not a tomorrow creature. God is not a yesterday God, a tomorrow God. Like, we come in here today, if I'm getting therapy, it's obvious that for whatever reason, and some of those reasons are very legitimate, like, trauma, whatever happened here, and you bring it. But yet that happened in 94, and here it is 2025 though. And life and love is now. The universe is now. God is now. Love is now. So now when I come into this now, because it's a brand new day every single day, one you've never seen, you'll never see it again. Right. Brand new. So if I come into that new day, but I'm bringing the last 5, 10, 15 years, they're going to clash. So I'm going to suffer. Naturally, I'm going to suffer,
That's deep. That like I said, that's just got me thinking.
Yeah. That's what love is. That's what love does, But
so I know that I know everything we're talking about is definitely on subject with what the podcast is. But how did you find Love No Ego? Where was that birthed from?
Yeah, so a lot of things, a lot of mistakes I made, which I'm gonna circle back to it. So the way we treat each other as humans, never liked it. Political climate of the country, never been attracted to politics. I just never understood how much weight we put on social status, and it outweighs being human. I could never understood why people didn't like people because of like skin tone. When I always thought race was made up. Like, I never thought God made me a black man. I never thought God made a white man. I thought he made a person with different skin tones. It happens. I think the title came from a greedy man a long time ago who saw an opportunity to enslave some people and do this and do that and own some land and steal this and steal that. And that's America's birth defect. That's America's birthmark that nobody really, truly, honestly wants to address, the way that it should be. So I never liked all of that. And my programming that came on me from family, and, they did the best they could. I respect them and love them. Like, there were layers of stuff. Like, my dad was a retired mechanic now. He's a mechanic. He cut some pub wood, and he co-managed a nightclub. He was a street guy. My mom was a church girl, church woman. So I would go with my dad to like party at night. I'm talking like I'm 12 years old, and I would go with my mom to church that Sunday morning. So I had both these best of both worlds, I thought, going on. And while I was doing that, I saw a lot, but I also received a lot of communication, a lot of authentic communication. And I was able to see man, a lot of drugs and just foul stuff, And then as I got older and I became attracted to some of those things that I necessarily didn't really like, trying to be the man and, how the culture puts this on you. You got to get the girls, you got to be cool, you got to play sports. And I just realized through my mistakes, like, damn, the ego is just in the way. The ego is like the one thing that's really stopping me. But people were telling me to stick out my chest and be bold and be cool and be cold. But it's actually the opposite. Love tells me when to be bold. It tells me when to speak up. It tells me when to be quiet. It tells me when to go this way, away from that. It tells me when to feel safe and come this way. And I learned that if I'm not in a burning building, if there's not a bear chasing me, if I'm not trapped in a car, submerged in the ocean, if it's not happening now, fear, if it's not happening life-threatening right now, what am I scared for? What am I afraid of? So it must be this. It must be this. And I just looked at that a while ago, a long time ago. I paid attention. I stayed curious. My mom let me stay curious. Babies are naturally just curious, messing with stuff. Sticking the fingers in outlets, grabbing phones like they know what's going on. Babies are curious.
Not the fingers in the outlet.
Yeah, you're like, no, don't do that, But, then somebody came along and made them unhappy. Like they were happy. They somebody came along and spoiled the fun. But as adults, it flips. Now we walk around, we look for somebody or something to fill us up and make us happy. So does that say we're sad? So I thank my mom because she let me stay curious. She let me tear up the house. She let me go. She let me do some things and, test the waters. And I think with that curiosity, it always stayed with me. And I've always been curious about just the human intuition and what's going on here. So that's beautiful.
You see my wheels rolling, right?
Yeah.
So there's still adults that are curious and trying to find things to technically get into, but there's also those adults that are trying to stop it. So like, let's say I'm out trying to, I see something and I'm all jazzed up about it and you go, nah. So we have those adults doing that. They try to stifle what I would call people's happiness, basically. Hey, they're not even being successful. You're just in a good mood all the time. And there's that one person that's trying to take it away.
Yeah.
I'm trying to process, like the petty people, I guess we're going to call them petty, because, why?
Yeah.
If you don't like what somebody else is doing, keep it moving. Why, like you said, why circle back and, have comments and statements and just do side things that is just unnecessary.
Yeah. No matter what you do, you can have $1, you can have 10 million of them. Like somebody always got something to say, right? And my thing about it all, about the pettiness, is it's up to me whether I want to engage or not.
Right.
And like I look at it and I might see an opportunity to share a line or two. And if they think about it, they think about it. If they don't, they don't. But love tells me when to share something and when to say, you know what, I don't have the energy for that right now. I'm going this way. I got things to do, But when I have time, I don't mind talking to any person, even if they're super negative, because I let them know too that You know how you have a right to say what you're saying and it's negative or whatever it is? Guess what? I have a right too to say what I want to say over here. So if you can't handle the combat of me saying what I want to say, maybe you should consider what you're saying, because we're all equal here. We're all equal.
Yeah.
You know, me and my wife we do that sometimes. I'll say something, she'll say something. I'll say something, she'll say something. But it's not like a combative thing, but it's
Right.
more like, do we understand that, like, you can say that? And do you understand that I can say this with no, like, I don't care about the judgment or anything. Like, but people don't give each other that freedom. They want you to say what they want you to say. They don't want you
Or
to be
just,
you.
or do what you want, or do just, it's just, or
Yeah.
do the things that they see that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so much out here for everybody. There's stuff for everybody. There's a place for everybody. And that whole, competition thing, I'm like, I ain't got time for it. I walked away from so many different things.
Yeah.
And I'm still looking at some stuff that's, like you said, that's kind of petty going on, and I try to decide if I walk away by giving into the pettiness and I suffer, or it's just like, what do you do? So just people are so petty.
Yeah, and competition, that was something that got a hold of me and limited me big time and hurt me big time. Landed me in the hospital, immediate surgery. Like, it wasn't when competition is for a game, for sport.
For
Like,
sports, yeah.
yeah, I mean, you and I are playing a game of basketball. Yeah, we can compete, and even in that competition, there's so much still to be learned, because it's a lot of discipline. When things don't go your way, how do you respond? Those are life skills, that's happening in a game, and I share with folks, like, when we're having a conversation, there's no scoreboard, like keeping track of, did I one up you or you one up me? Like, there's no scoreboard. This is communication is peace. If it's not communication, if it's conflict, it ain't no peace. So it ain't communication.
And that's in the workplace, when you trying to just do your job and someone thinks you're doing it better than they are or something, then it's always.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I tell people too that, nobody does what you want them to do 100% of the time. Your best friend,
or listen to you. They don't listen to you either.
Your best friend, your mom, your dad, your coworker, your sister, your husband,
and
your
auntie and them. Auntie
Nobody.
and them, yeah, no.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah.
Yeah. But, if we can get that ego out of the way, the ego being the overly self-centeredness, it's not like you can't not think about yourself. But I'm talking about thinking about yourself less times, like quantity, versus quality. I can think of myself less times without thinking less of who I am. It actually feels good to get off of myself and think about somebody else.
There's some people out there that absolutely cannot do that.
Yeah.
It's always got to be, depending on what it is too, but they just can't, it's just an ego.
Yeah. And also the fear, overly self-centeredness and fear. Overly self-centeredness is based in fear, because you're acting this way because you don't want that to happen.
Right.
You're acting this way because I don't want that to happen. And so it's like this false sense of security. Overly self-centeredness, fear. If you don't have those two, nothing's left but the real you. Nothing's left but love and the real you to emerge. So if you can practice life, like thinking and being in your natural love space, even if you don't know what to do at all, if a person doesn't know what to do, at minimum, they can take this phone or alarm, use the alarm and set it for 2 minutes, much as they can take, set it for 2 minutes and set just like this and do nothing.
I bet you there's people out there that can't do that.
I say set an alarm because when you ask people to set by themselves and they don't see an end in sight, it's more irritating, right?
Right.
Because you don't, what am I supposed to do? But if you set an alarm for 30 seconds, a minute, that can grow into 5, 10, 15 a day in the park. It could turn into hours. But if you set the alarm, you know that you got a minute. It's going to be over.
Right.
So that'll calm the nervous system a little bit. And you're like, okay, let me try.
That's similar to me asking my son the other day, a straight flight to Detroit, can I do an hour and 47 minutes? So see, I'm already here going, how long am I going to be in the air from start to finish? And then I'm sitting there going, can I actually do an hour and 47 minutes? So I guess it would be like when we did it before and I put the Black Panther on and it was a 2-hour movie, that part. So I watched the movie and knew that when the credits started rolling, I should be landing.
Yeah.
So that I get what you're saying. Because that,
it calms the nervous system, puts it in another place. And also you're working on moving towards like healing. Like, even when you do the little things to comfort and bring peace and joy, like that's, you're consistently choosing, like you just chose an action of healing. And we choose all day long. We make decisions, this, that. And honestly, most of our decisions is either love or fear. Love or fear. Like it's like light, it's the same energy, right? Love, fear, light, darkness, truth, illusions, universe, world, reality, stuff we made up. Like it's like we
it's one or the other.
Yeah. And we stay over here a lot more because we come out of the womb, it's in your face. It's in your face. Like you're just a baby. You start conforming the second you come out.
And babies don't have no fear.
Yeah, they fearless. So fear is actually, you can see and tell that how it's learned over time. A baby, a kindergartner can get their feelings hurt dramatically, and it shifts for the rest of their lives based on, if they receive the proper treatment and communication and proper just normal rehabilitation through community and communication. It can turn around. Like I've heard horrible things, as a kid, saw horrible things as a kid, but I had authentic communication from my mom. I had a couple of uncles who was just like, look, that's unfortunate. But guess what? You still have a choice. You have a choice. Like nobody's
growing up when we, didn't know that, that we didn't have a choice. And that's why I said we stood in a lot of pain, which affected, the mental, because there wasn't anybody to communicate to, or we didn't think there was somebody that we could communicate to. So,
yeah. But life is beautiful. Like life is beautiful. Like I can't describe it fully, but it's what's been given to me and you. Like life, this is beautiful. What we make of it can maybe not be so beautiful.
Right.
It's different. What's been given to you and what now you making of it is different. It can be different. Or if you can align the two, like you're now working and being and living in alignment with, they call it what? Thy will. Thy will is done. It's already done. You can't change it. That's why we suffer as humans, because we we don't know the will that's here. And when we go against that will, we contradict our spirit, our soul, our intuition. That's suffering. You let yourself down. Let yourself down, like consistently, often. You let yourself down. What do you think is next? Depression.
Yeah.
So
Anxiety, stress.
yeah. So, just having a practice to where, you can just make some space for love to do its thing. It's going to do its thing if you give it some space to do its thing. But if we're running chaotically in the world, you don't never get a chance to let it activate and do its thing. We have those twice a year miracles instead of everyday miracles.
Like your sunrise.
Oh, every day is
Every
just
day.
it could be snowing. It
I
could
was
be
just getting ready to ask you, what do you do when it snowed?
I go out. I'm still out. It's beautiful.
In your boots and watching it.
In my boots, I have multiple robes. I have an outdoor robe and I have an in-house robe. My outdoor robe is got holes in it. I've lost it a couple of times, had to order a new one. I've left it somewhere on a kayak on the lake. I had to get a new one, but it's my my outdoor robe. I put that on every morning. I wake up, my routine, I wake up about 3:45 every day. I read, I chill, I drink my water, I do a few exercises, movements, and then I jump on my computer about after an hour and a half of being up. I jump on my computer, answer some emails, and then about 6 o'clock, 5:55, I get out because the sun is coming up at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stay out there till like 7:30. I come back, jump on the computer, start my day. 9 o'clock rolls around. I'm already going, and I'm jumping into the day with the rest of the folks. And it's almost like I got a 6-hour head start on them.
Yeah, you sound like a military commercial. We do more before you do before you wake up.
Yeah, people have told me that. People have said that, like, threw that phrase at me. But it's something magical going on too at that time with the universe and the way the sun is coming up and the way that the shifts in the night, the moon is sinking, the sun is coming. It's a lot of beautiful stuff happening that I can't always explain, but I feel.
And I'm sleeping through it. Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's beautiful. And without those cosmos and that energy happening the way that it does, like, we wouldn't be alive. We wouldn't be able to stay alive if something happened to the sun. If all water disappeared, like, we wouldn't be able to survive.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking about something. When you first removed your electronics, how was that to get used to it? Like when you took the TV and stuff out?
Yeah. Well, we were already moving in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
It was like naturally, I just, you lose attraction to noise, to things, to stuff, you just lose attraction to it. So you don't use it as often. So I wasn't turning on the TV because I wasn't attracted to the TV. I already know. I've been tired of the news. I already know what they're going to say. I already know what every news station is going to say.
Pretty much,
yeah. It's just a different event with the same message. Now it gets more intense because it's 2025 versus 2010, So I already know what that deal is. And guess what? If it's important enough, if it's life-threatening, like we were talking about earlier, don't you think we're going to hear about it?
From somewhere.
I'll hear about it. It'll be all over your phone. Your phone going to get interrupted. You're going to get a emergency alert. Somebody going to call you. Like, if it's that important, you'll hear about it. So I became less attracted to it. I wasn't turning it on. And one day we were sitting here, me and my partner, my wife, were sitting here, and I'm like, babe, that TV, it's like 40-inch TV on the wall there. We haven't turned that thing on in months. And she knows me. She's like, you want to sell it, don't you? I get rid of stuff. Like, I don't like a lot of stuff, you know? And she was like, I don't care. Like, we can sell it with, let's downsize anyway. We thinking about getting an RV and traveling across the country and everything. So I was like, all right. So I took a picture of it right on the wall. And I put it on Craigslist, and it was gone in 30 minutes. Yeah.
That's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, and we still watch stuff. We'll stream stuff on our iPad or something if whatever we want to watch, you know, from time to time. But you know, it's not like a priority. Like we come in the house and we're actually engaging so much. Like, how's the day going? Blah, blah, how was your day? We cook together. We do this. We do that. We eat. You know, we have fun and we lay out in the floor. We stretch. We water the plants. All the plants have names. We sit in the yard and, you know, we read books. We go to
because I remember talking to you one time and you were sitting in the yard in your chair, comfortable.
Yeah. So it's called practicing that life. Like that's what's been given to you. Why are we not practicing at that? And that's all love. That's all the love side. And everything else is the ego side. So when I say love, no ego, I mean more love, less of that stuff. But know how to use the tool. Like I know how to use this tool. You know?
But don't let the tool use you.
That's it. Yeah. Tools nothing works unless you do. Maya Angelou said that. Like nothing works unless you do. This doesn't work without me. A gun doesn't work without me. This laptop doesn't work without me. Social media doesn't work without me. So it must be human behavior. It's not the device.
I'm just thinking about the fear side though. Yeah. The ego and the fear side, they kind of go together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So share before we disappear and separate, where people can find you and what you want them to know about the Love No Ego.
Yeah. So you can find me at Mr. MrLovenoego.org, MrLoveNoEgo.org. That's my speaking site, my traveling site. I'm doing a lot of speaking, traveling all over the world now. Had a few international gigs last year. So love is doing what it does. Yes. And the nonprofit is LoveNoEgo.org. That's approaching 10 years. We have 8-9 mentors now, awesome board. We're servicing 22 kids a week, which stay with us 2-3 years. And we're making that impact with them. I would say subscribe to both sites. Go to the sites, subscribe to both because I invite people to presentations. I'm
golfing. You got the golfing.
Yeah, I'm planning a retreat. We're having the Love No Ego experience for celebrating 10 years of service. So when you subscribe, you get that monthly newsletter and you see what's going on.
I get two because I got 2 different addresses.
Yeah. But I would say subscribe and we'll update you with everything. Like you have to come experience a presentation. I'm talking to the people. Like we had one Friday and like every time I speak and connect with people, it's always monumental. There's always a tear or two. There's always some experience and emerging of this person that's like, I get it now. I get that.
Yeah, like the aha moment. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can practice this. Thank you, you know? So we have a couple in June 25th. I have another one in Richmond at the University of Richmond. So please subscribe, MrLoveNoEgo.org and LoveNoEgo.org, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I was going to say they need to try to go to some of your events because you spoke at the seminar, which I got to hit. That was like the 3rd time I heard you because you were at the school Journey now, which used to be Jack Jewett. And then I went to your breakfast event, which was really cool because I met some really nice people there. So yeah, I enjoyed that. So I have attended a couple. Don't miss any. They do need to subscribe though.
Yeah,
to get everything.
subscribe to both sites, and we'll feed you some monumental info.
So when I post this so that people can see it again, I'll put those links in for you.
Okay, awesome. And I'll take it too. I'll take it and put it on my blog, our blog and everything.
And you'll be able to get it because it's on the actual YouTube channel. It's broadcasting off the YouTube channel. Awesome. And like I told it, this is for the unspoken men yourself. So anytime that you guys may want to use the platform to interview or talk to somebody, just let me know and we'll set it up and I'll just sit in the corner.
Awesome. Cool.
So
I appreciate it.
That's for all the guys that were in the books.
Yeah.
So this is the platform to get that out.
Well, thanks for everything that you're doing, Pam.
Oh, you're welcome. And this is we had a waiting list for Wednesdays. So I had to open it up during the summer, just the summer, because I can't do this in school time. So we got Monday and Wednesday, and June is done. There's still no one in June, and July is almost full. I don't know what to do.
You're doing it.
I guess hey, that's that fear side, right?
Yeah. But so, you're in it. You're in it, and it's purposeful, and you're doing it. And sometimes, oftentimes there's a little trial and error. Like you tried this, that didn't work. You're doing this. I don't know too many people who came out of the womb and picked something and it worked out for the rest of their life.
Just walked on out and go, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, no. Because when I went to state, I was, I majored in criminal justice, public administration. I'm working in a high school. So I didn't make it to DC and threw my head up in the air. No, because I was going to, which I guess everything happens for a reason, because I was determined to work in the White House. I was going to work. I'm glad. I'm glad we just going to leave that. We're going to let that sit for a minute. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you for everything. And keep me posted on when it's ready, and I'll share it too. So.
Okay. Yep. As soon as I hit end, it should come right on up.
Yeah.
On website. So I will definitely send you the link again. But it's as soon as I hit end stream, it'll pop up.
Awesome. Cool. All right.
Okay.
Well, hey.
I will talk to you again.
All right. Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
I appreciate you, my friend.
All right. Bye.